Bookish friends, welcome to another installment of From Pages to Screen. In this video series, I compare books to either TV movies or TV series adaptations. In this video, I'm going to compare The Lathe of Heaven by Ursula K. Guin with its two TV movie adaptations. But first of all, I'm going to shamelessly promote another video of mine. The last video of this video series, The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. Unfortunately, due to some technical booktube scheduling difficulties, it shows on its uploading date is a week earlier, so it did not show in your timelines. That's why I decided to shamelessly promote my previous video of this series. Let's go back to Lathe of Heaven. Lathe of Heaven is a 1971 science fiction novel written by American writer Ursula K. Guin. The book is set in a dystopian Portland, Oregon in the year 2002, which was of course the future in 1971. Our main character is George Orr, a draftsman who has been long abusing drugs to prevent himself from having effective dreams, which changes reality. And one other thing about this book is that the new reality is the only reality for everyone else, and only George remembers the past versions of reality. So under the threat of being placed in an asylum, Orr is forced to undergo voluntary psychiatric care for his drug abuse, and George begins attending therapy sessions with an ambitious psychiatrist and sleep researcher named William Heber. An interesting fact about this novel is that the story was first serialized in science fiction magazine Amazing Stories. The novel received 1972 Hugo Award and 1971 Nebula Award and won the Locust Award for Best Novel in 1972. This was the first book that I've chose since I joined my real life book club. I always wanted to read a science fiction classic that is written by a woman author, and who better than Ursula K. Guin. When I read the book, I was pleasantly surprised that it did not contain so many scientific details, but focused more on sort of dystopian social commentary. And I really like science fiction and fantasy stories that tells a lot about the society in general. And although it was written about 50 years ago, it was both interesting and unfortunately sad to see that not many things have changed since K. Guin wrote the book. And also, the idea of dreams changing reality and alternative realities have always been a fascination of mine. And when I chose the book, I didn't know that, because I just wanted to choose a standalone book by Ursula K. Guin, and that was the book that was translated to Turkish. Because many of my friends in my book club read the book in Turkish. I gave this book 4.5 stars and then rounded up to 5, and I advise this book to lovers of both science fiction and dystopian novels. And Lathe of Heaven has been adapted into TV movies 2 times. An adaptation which was produced by public television station WNET and directed by David Laxton and Fred Barzik, was released in 1980. It was first direct-to-TV movie production by Public Broadcasting Service, which is PBS. The movie stars Bruce Davison as George Orr, Kevin Conway as William Haber, and Margaret Avery as Heather Lalash. Le Guin was heavily involved in the production of 1980 adaptation and expressed her satisfaction with it several times. A second TV movie adaptation was released in 2002. Produced by A&E Network and directed by Philippa. The movie starred James Caan, Lucas Haas, and Lisa Bonet. Guin had no involvement in making the film. This adaptation received very poor reviews from the critics. In Front Pages, the screen TV series, I compared the original work, the book, according to 4 criteria. Faithfulness to the book, casting choices, acting quality, and my IMDb rating. The latter 2 are more subjective criteria, whereas I try to be as objective as I can as regards to the first criteria. For faithfulness to the book, I gave the 1980 version a plus. The fact that Guin was heavily involved in the production and the plot shows clearly. It's a very good adaptation of the book, and most of the dialogues are taken from the book, so it's a very faithful adaptation, and it omits just a little things which are insignificant. So this adaptation deserves a plus according to faithfulness. As for 2002, I gave faithfulness to the book a minus. Much of the movie was not true to the book, and the ending was changed, which was very unfortunate in my opinion, because it had a very effective ending in my opinion. And also some of the major plot points were twisted so that the motives of some of the characters were also changed. So it's a really poor adaptation of the book, and it deserves a minus. As for casting, I have no complaints about 1980 version, so it deserves a plus, and the same can be said for 2002 adaptation. The physical descriptions and some of the significant qualities of the characters do fit the descriptions in the book. As for acting, I gave 1987 version a check. I like the acting of Kevin Conway the most as William Haber. I unfortunately did not like Bruce Davison as George Orr, so I gave an average rating of a check. As for 2002, I also gave that version a check. There was nothing spectacular or very bad about the acting of the actors and actresses. And I was a bit disappointed with James Caan because as Dr. Haber, he could have acted much better. It was not bad, so like 1980 version, I gave acting quality a check. As for my IMDb rating, 1980 version got a 7 from me. Maybe because of the poor production quality. It was a bit simpler than what I imagined it to be. As I've said before, it was very faithful to the book. So I gave an average rating of 7 to 1980 version. 2002 version, however, got a 5 from me. There are 2 reasons for giving it a bit low rating. One of them is it was not true to the book, and I especially disliked how the scenario changed the motives of the character. Also, the technical effects were so poorly done. I mean, 1980 version had better effects in my opinion, which is very interesting to think about, considering it was done 20 years later. So the movie deserves a 5. So in summary, I can say that the book is much better than both of the adaptations. And also, if you really want to watch an adaptation of the book, please do watch 1980 version. It's much superior than 2002 version. So, though this was my comparison of The Lathe of Heaven by Ursula K. With its 2 TV movies adaptations. Please comment down below. Have you read The Lathe of Heaven by Ursula K. or any other book by Ursula K. And have you watched any of these adaptations? Also, if you're a new viewer, please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, since the book's title is The Lathe of Heaven, I thought heaven should be the word of the day. Heaven means cennet in Turkish, and cennet is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.